Ladies and gentlemen, the new Secretary of Transportation, Jim Smith.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much, and thank all of you for being here. This is an exciting time, exciting day, and you know, the Lord has also smiled upon us. Couldn't be a more perfect temperature, perfect day. We got a lot of great people here, and I want to recognize a lot of them. I won't recognize everybody, but I recognize a lot of them. First, from the Montgomery County Council, we have Valerie Irvin here. Yay, Valerie. George Leventhal, he got here early, wanted to get a good seat, I think. Craig Rice is here. Mark Eldridge is here. Hans Reamer is here. And we have Candy Gibson here on behalf of Roger Berliner.
Nancy Navarro, the council.
And the council president is here, Nancy Navarro. I missed her.
Nancy.
Okay. We have Senator Karen Montgomery is here. Yes, okay. Delegates from Montgomery County, Ann Kaiser's here. Brian Feldman, Susan Lee, Sam Aurora, Kirill Resnick, Tom Hucker, Aruna Miller, Charles Barkley, he got here early too, I might add, Anna Sol Gutierrez, and then from Prince George's County, Ann Healy is here.
Ariana Kelly.
Ariana Kelly is here. I'm sorry, Ariana. Oh, Sheila Dixon, I did see her. Sheila Hickson. I know her very well, honestly, I do. Okay, from the cities and towns, Mayor Katz from Gaithersburg is here. Mayor Slavin from Somerset is here. Councilmember Kathy Priscula, Gaithersburg is here. Councilmember Ryan Spiegel is here from Gaithersburg. And Councilmember Michael Sesma is also here from Gaithersburg. We have representing Senator Ben Cardin, Ken Reckart is here. Okay, representing Congressman Van Hollen, Ann Humphreys is here. Representing Senator Mikulski, Courtney Samuels is here. Okay. Anyway, and there are lots of other people here, and we welcome all of you. And now I'm going to yield to the man who has made this possible, along with a lot of help from a lot of other folks, and the Lieutenant Governor, who also led the charge on P3. Very important for this project. It's my pleasure to yield the podium to the Governor of the state of Maryland, Martin OMalley.
Jim, thank you. Thanks very much. My goodness, it is great to be back in Bethesda, Maryland, land of my bread and buttering. It is wonderful to be with all of the committed elected officials who are here, public servants, and also the men and women of the Laborers International Union and building trade, so many people that go out to rebuild our state's infrastructure, our county and our city infrastructure, do it and do great work. And Lord knows there's more work that they could and should and now will be doing. Right. So we are here today at the future home of Maryland's Purple Line here in Bethesda, Maryland. And the Purple Line will connect Montgomery County and Prince George's County and bring them both together. Look, for generations as a state, we have been the beneficiaries of a lot of good decisions, but over the last few decades, we stopped making the investments necessary in order to create and to build and rebuild the transportation infrastructure that we need as a people. We need it in order to strengthen and grow our middle class. We need it in order to create jobs and facilitate commerce. And the failure to act, the failure to make those better decisions had a huge cost. It cost us all in terms of time that we could have spent with our families that we lost. It cost us in terms of time that we could have spent at work that instead our employers lost. It cost us in terms of damage to our land, to our water, and to our air, and it costs us in terms of the jobs that we could have created, the jobs we should have created, the jobs that would have been supported if we had been making these investments as indeed our population grew, and in fact our population grew. But this session, however difficult the choices were before us, we came together and led by County Executive Leggett, led by County Executive Rushern Baker, and represented by committed men and women across our state in Annapolis, we were able to make the tough but right decisions necessary in order to invest in transportation infrastructure to create jobs and expand opportunity. So, Colin. What was true for our parents and grandparents is still true today. In order for a modern economy to create jobs and expand opportunity, we have to be willing to make modern investments. In total, the Transportation Act will invest $4.4 billion supporting over 57,000 jobs over the next 6 years. Better choices in order to achieve better results. We have a AAA bond rating in our state, and it's not by accident, it's by choice. And our announcement today is about what we will be able to do together now because of these better choices. Projects that will ease traffic congestion and give moms and dads more time to be at home and more time to be at work and be with their families. Projects that will make this area even more desirable for jobs and job creation. Projects like the number one announcement here is in May, we will announce a $280 million investment to complete the right-of-way purchase and design of the Purple Line. So today we are announcing an additional $400 million towards getting this light rail built. That is an investment that will bring Montgomery and Prince George's County together. Secondly, we will invest $25 million so that the people of Brookville, a great historic town that played such an important and memorable role in the War of 1812, or the Second War of Independence, as some of us choose to call it. Senator Montgomery is very pleased that we will be relocating a part of Maryland 97 around that historic downtown so the good people of Brookville can maintain a place to live and the core of their community. So, third, we will invest $3 million to advance the widening of Maryland 124. Fifth, we will be investing $3 million to advance the corridor transportation improvement for Maryland 27 and Maryland 198. And sixth, we will invest $85 million in Montgomery County's ride-on bus system. Now, all of these investments will also coincide with a $125 million new exchange along I-270 at Watkins Mill and $100 million to advance, this is an applause line, the Corridor Cities Transitway. So again, all of this is about the better choices. If we want better results, we have to be willing to make better choices. One man who has been at the forefront of that happens to be a person who I've had the honor to see work and to work with over these last 7 years. He is our Lieutenant Governor, highest ranking elected official in our country to have served a tour of duty in Iraq. He has been at the forefront of public-private partnerships, the way of the future for us to be able as a country to do big, important things like the Purple Line. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a tremendous advocate for better transportation and better choices, our Lieutenant Governor, Anthony Brown.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Governor O'Malley. Thank you for your leadership in our state in so many areas, whether expanding health care, making neighborhoods safer, improving the quality of education, or today, the big announcements as we make continued investments in Maryland's transportation infrastructure. I know 6 years ago, many of us joined together as we renewed our commitment to making the difficult decisions and the right choices for a better Maryland. I want to thank our partners in government, County's Executive Leggett and Baker, for your leadership in Montgomery and Prince George County. I want to thank the members of the General Assembly for your difficult decisions, your choices, your partnership, as well as the many county council members, municipal leaders who are here. I want to thank the men and women in organized labor. I want to thank all of our industry partners in making today possible and working together over the years in making tough choices, difficult choices to improve the quality of life here in Maryland. There is no doubt that throughout Maryland, and especially here in the National Capital Region, that addressing our transportation needs is one of the toughest challenges that we face. Maryland has some of the most congested roads in the country, and it costs Marylanders in both time and money, the time that they spend in traffic, away from their families, or away from being productive on the job. As we continue to grow and thrive, as we continue to be a place where people want to live, work, and raise a family, public transportation is certainly going to be an important part in alleviating that congestion and enabling us to address our challenges. We committed just a few years ago to doubling transportation ridership in Maryland, mass transit ridership in Maryland by 2020, and working together, we've made considerable progress towards that goal, including an almost 18% increase in our overall average weekday ridership. But if we're going to reach our goal, which will help us keep Maryland's economy competitive and strong, then we need to remain committed to building 21st century transportation infrastructure. And projects like the Purple Line and the Corridor City Transitway are an essential part of making that network a reality. And they're going to have a positive impact on our businesses and our communities and encourage people to use public transportation. So today, Governor OMalley and I, joined with our partners in public service, are pleased to announce that we are going to deliver the Purple Line as the first public-private partnership for a transit project and the largest in the history of the state of Maryland. It's a project that's going to connect our communities and grow our economy, a project that is going to add or expand 20 stations in communities in College Park and Bethesda, Riverdale Park, and neighborhoods throughout the National Capital Region. A project that is going to give workers and businesses in the region greater access to a world-class transportation. And with the additional $400 million that the governor just announced, we're showing just how serious we are to delivering the Purple Line now. Public-private partnerships give us a tremendous opportunity to work with the private sector in creating jobs, in growing our economy, in building the most competitive workforce in the country, and developing Maryland businesses here. I want to thank our good friends in the international laborers and the building trades for working with us. I want to thank the Greater Washington Board of Trade as well, and other industry groups working with us to developing a framework for public-private partnerships that make the Purple Line possible and will help us deliver many more public-private partnerships in the years ahead. So thank you very much. Thank you, Governor, for your leadership. We look forward to delivering this project. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome County Executive Ike Leggett.
Thank you, thank you. I'm really very happy to be here today to thank Governor OMalley, Lieutenant Governor Brown, our state delegation, for investing in Montgomery County in our future and in the growth and prosperity of Maryland. I also want to acknowledge and make certain that my good friend from Prince George's County, County Executive Baker, understand this, and repeat it again if you heard it before. Montgomery County is the economic engine of Maryland.
That's right. Yes.
And investing here will benefit all of Maryland through new job creation and greater support of our business community. You can put out there. You can put out there. Together, our Gray Seneca Science Corridor, Shady Grove Sector Plan, White Flint Plan, White Oak Gateway Plan Center are projected to produce, get this, 100,000 new jobs. That's the largest single addition in the county's history. However, all of that depends on improvement in our transportation infrastructure. Without that, those jobs may come to a screeching halt. The transportation funding announced today will help Montgomery County move forward on desperately needed, overdue projects. Anyone who drove here today can see for themselves why the Washington region has one of the worst transportation clusters in all of America. I have fought hard for these increased resources ever since I was first elected, and it's great to see what we are accomplishing here today. Now, for the first time in a generation, and thanks to the leadership of Governor OMalley and Lieutenant Governor Brown, we are now moving forward to make certain that we put these projects back in place. Today's funding announcement is the first of hopefully many installments in the transportation solutions that are so vital to this entire region. Thank you, Governor OMalley, Lieutenant Governor Brown, our state delegation, for delivering on this major, major funding request. Thank you very much.
And now we'd like to bring to the podium our county executive from Prince George's County. He's doing an outstanding job, fantastic partner with the state and his friends in Montgomery County, Rushern Baker.
Thank you. I think I can speak for Delegate Healy and myself. We look forward to having County Executive Leggett take the Purple Line from Montgomery County to Prince George's County, the economic engine of the region and of the state of Maryland. I too want to add my thanks to Governor OMalley for his leadership, certainly to the General Assembly for the hard work and tough votes they took. I want to thank our colleagues over here on the Montgomery County Council and certainly the municipal leaders. And a special thanks to our Lieutenant Governor. As many of you know, we wouldn't have gotten the bill through for public-private partnership had it not been for the leadership of the Lieutenant Governor. And I think that deserves a round of applause for his leadership. You know, this is about jobs and economic development for both of the great regions of Maryland, Prince George's County and Montgomery County. We understand without transit and this type of development, neither one of our counties can grow. So I'd like to close with a special thanks, as I said, to the governor for his leadership. You know, he could have rested, you know, in his last, you know, year or two in office, and he didn't. He took the mantle, and he went out there and he made sure that we have a great state. So can we give the governor another round of applause? And let me end with this. The person who brought us all together, who kept this issue before us, who had the mayor of Baltimore City and myself come and meet with the governor, meet with the leadership in the House, understood it more so than anybody else at the executive level, whether mayor or county executive. We wouldn't be standing here today, and quite honestly, let me just say this, I wouldn't have stood with the governor and lieutenant governor a couple of months ago in Prince George's County and talked about the development projects that we're going to do if it had not been for the leadership of your county executive, Isaiah Leggett. Right. Give him a round of applause. Thank you, and we look forward to having you in Prince George's County.
Jim Dinegar from the Greater Washington Board of Trade. Why don't you come up and share a few words? Thank you for your leadership in the business community, Jim.
Thank you very much. Well, Governor OMalley, Lieutenant Governor Brown, County Executive Leggett, County Executive Baker, today's major announcement of Governor OMalley's push forward on the Purple Line is the manifestation of three initiatives all strongly supported by the Greater Washington Board of Trade, by the business community. First, the need for the Purple Line is clear and will alleviate some of our region's mounting congestion while affording more transit choice to residents and businesses alike. Number two is the Board of Trade stood squarely behind the governor and other leaders to adopt a dedicated transportation funding mechanism in the gas tax, and we all have the scars to prove it. We were strong in our call to protect its use for transportation funding only, and we are very pleased to see it being applied in this way for transportations all across the Maryland counties of Greater Washington. The third is that the Board of Trade strongly supported Lieutenant Governor Brown and Governor OMalley in the passage of legislation this past session to enable the expanded use of public-private partnerships. We are very pleased to see this partnership approach is being applied to the funding, operation, and maintenance of the Purple Line. With government and business working together, things will get done earlier because funding becomes available. Things will be done better because each side has measurable goals for which to account, and they will succeed because it is through such partnerships that best practices and world-class elements are brought to bear. The Board of Trade has been central to the biggest metro projects in existence, to the Wilson Bridge, to the Intercounty Connector, to the express lanes in Virginia, and today we are so proud to stand alongside the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the county executives in celebrating the real first tangible step on the Purple Line. Congratulations, Governor.
Your next Nancy.
Navarro.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Nancy Navarro. I'm the president of the Montgomery County Council, and it is really a privilege to be with you today to acknowledge and to thank the leadership of our governor, Martin OMalley, our lieutenant governor, Anthony Brown, our executives, the entire Montgomery County Council, who has worked very, very hard to make sure this is a reality, and many of you who are in the audience who have been extraordinary advocates for this moment in time. This has been a collective effort, and it is just really, really wonderful to finally be here, not just announcing these amazing investments, but also really, truly announcing this groundbreaking P3, public-private partnership, solution to this issue, which is something that's being talked about on the national level. And lo and behold, Maryland once again leads the nation in making sure that we set the example moving forward. So I want to thank you. I also want to make a little note that the County Council also, understanding that we have to put forward commitment, did include about $100 million in our CIP to ensure that we could fund the Bethesda South entrance, because we are that committed to moving forward. And we will continue to work on many master plans that continue to get Maryland to move Montgomery County forward as a leader, and we love to have our county executive for Prince George's here. We'll continue to work together, but Montgomery County is strong because of all of you who are here today, both on that side and on this side, every day working on behalf of our residents. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Nancy. And thank all of you for coming. This is an exciting partnership all the way around. This is a great day. And now we're just going to move forward. Thank you all very much for coming.
All right.